enigmatic Egypt. There's so many things to be discovered yet. Egypt's Nile River could be hiding a window to the mysteries of the underworld. This is what a new study is claiming, according to Svetlana Kimenko, Sputnik News Today. As we know, the River Nile is one of the longest rivers on Earth, and scientists are actually pondering on how old this river actually is. We know it's flowing from the mountains deep in Africa, coming downhill towards Egypt and emptying into the southern Mediterranean. Actually, it's coming from the Rift Valley Mountains, the Great Rift Valley of Africa. And for me, I'm afraid that once the Rift Valley takes place and the eastern part of Africa cuts off, the Nile may no longer be there. Anyway, the River Nile is at least 30 million years old, they say, and it could be mirroring the course of a plume of mantle material circulating underneath it, because as we know, the Great Rift Valley has fault lines and a tremendous amount of volcanoes situated there. Now, according to new research by a team of scientists from the United States, Canada, Italy, and Israel, that's what they claim. The mantle, as we know, is the largest layer of Earth, consisting of high-pressure rock. Studying it has always presented a challenge because of the depth under the crust. They can't get that deep. So it's basically hypotheses and theories. Now, a professor at the University of Austin, Texas, says that maybe we can use rivers to understand how the mantle flows. This is what Claudio Facena, the study's first author, said. We can use rivers to see how the mantle flows. The scientists have presented new evidence in a paper published in Nature Geoscience, corroborating earlier claims that the Nile may be older than other theories have contested. And the mystery surrounding the age of the Nile. There's been a long discussion about the age of the Nile, the major north-flowing river in northeastern Africa, as we said, the longest river in Africa, one of the longest rivers in the world. Debate centered on whether it formed from a river redirecting about 5 million years ago, or whether a proto-Nile was flowing through the area for 30 million years. And according to two rival models, attempts to explain the history of the Nile, according to one, the Nile formed when a drainage basin changed its course from westward to northward. And this happened, he said, about 6 million years ago. It's believed to have occurred because of some processes that formed a crack in the African tectonic plate called the African East Rift. That's the Great Rift Valley that we know of. The Great Rift Valley, which is cracking. Africa is splitting into two. Now, the other theory points to the river having formed 30 million years ago as a result of long-running geological processes in the Earth's mantle that have been pushing the ground upward, bulging in Ethiopia, and downward closer to the Mediterranean. All right, here we are on Google Earth, and this is the African Rift Valley, as you can see right there. Right there. I'm not going to go into the US because New Madrid seismic, so well, why not? You can see that crack right there. River, Mississippi River, St. Lawrence Seaway. It's not that much of a crack left to crack up. You know, the Great Lakes is right there. This is where we're getting all our, even in Canada, our latest earthquakes. But let's go back here. Okay, this is it. That's the Nile River. As you can see, the delta is pretty big because it's been emptying all these million years. It's coming down this way from here. Okay, that's it. That's what they're talking about. You can see it. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. The crack right there. There it is, there it is, there it is. And that's it. That's the Great Rift Valley of Africa. Okay. Oh, that was one of the earthquakes. Most of my earthquake plots the little pins come off. This one didn't come off. Okay. Lake Tanganyika, Lake Victoria. Lake Victoria has great fish. They get shipped out all over the world. Perka is one of the beautiful ones. Okay, so this is it. That's where the Nile comes from. And as you can see, this is a huge crack. The river, wherever you have river, is a fault line, and they have a tremendous amount of volcanoes here as well. There it is, there it is, there it is. These are mountains, as you can see. Mount Baker. How tall is Mount Baker? I don't even know if they have the... It's not telling us. Okay. And this one here is Mount Karisimbi. All right. And that's it right there. Flowing this way, getting bigger. This is through Khartoum, South Sudan, Eritrea. Where's Ethiopia? This should be Ethiopia. Okay. And Egypt. There it is. It widens here. That's it. That's the whole. It's huge. It originates in the mountains here. Okay. And that's the Great Rift Valley of Africa. So the one theory says the Nile formed when a drainage basin changed its course from west to going north around 6 million years ago. And the other theory points to the river having formed 30 million years ago as a result of long-running geological processes in the Earth's mantle that have been pushing the ground upward in Ethiopia, downward closer to the Mediterranean. Now, the current research presented fresh evidence in favor of the latter theory, including data and the modeling. The modeling of how topography changed over time shows that the Ethiopian plateau may have begun bulging, upwelling 30 million years ago, while the land began sinking down in the eastern Mediterranean by the Nile's mouth. The team of experts linked this model to one of the mantle moving and shifting slabs of the rock. In other words, through around the middle part of Africa, where we have the, as you'll see here, that Lake Victoria, where the mountains are, and then flooding and downsloping towards the Mediterranean. So the team of experts links this model to one of the mantle-moving, shifting slabs of rock. Some rivers originate from mountains or high plateaus, but others, like the Nile, start at places of higher land where the Earth's mantle, of course, has been pushed upward. We're talking about bulging because of the magma underneath. Past research from this team similarly supported the theory of an older Nile, as analysis of 20 to 30 million year old rocks found that the Nile's mouth showed they seemed to match the rocks found in the Ethiopian plateau at the source of the Nile. Thickness of the sediment, as well as the amount of the erosion in the Blue Nile, one of the main tributaries, are also perceived as supporting the river's older age. This new research is groundbreaking. It has to do with geology and all this, and it demonstrates how some rivers can serve as a tool for understanding the behavior of what the Earth's mantle is doing below. Now, Claudia Facena says if we can find another signal of the deep mantle on the surface, it would be amazing. Well, we know that the mantle is changing there because of the fact that we have cracks. And huge earthquake, the pretty big 5.4, it's not a small earthquake. And you have volcanoes there. Obviously, you have magma bodies there. So that, of course, right there, okay. That's the area that's going to split off, which has tremendous earthquake activity lately. And this, of course, is the Sinai Peninsula. That's the Nile River, the Red Sea. Beyond that is the Dead Sea and Israel towards 9-10 o'clock position. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.